Hey everyone, it's Zelenka. A long time no see, but there's been a lot going on, and I am back with a room renovation. We've basically done this about 2 years ago. I have a video on my channel how we did it, and we made some terrible mistakes, and yeah, one learns from their mistakes. So now we're here to kind of like fix them, and I'm gonna tell you why those were mistakes and basically what I'm gonna do with the whole room. So the first mistake which was done were basically these fluted walls. I have LEDs on one part of the room, so I can basically like film my content here with the LEDs and also film my content here without the LEDs, so I kind of get like two looks. And if you want to come for me and say like, oh, the panels look beautiful, no, I know many people are already fed up with them. They don't want to see them, but the main issue is that it's super dark, okay? The paneling is making the whole room look extremely dark. And I was thinking about getting rid of the paneling entirely. It's basically attached to wooden leads, so there is a room for air between the wall and the paneling, so it wouldn't be a big issue to like get rid of them entirely. But then again, I like the acoustics and I would definitely have echo in this room, so I don't want to get rid of them. I will probably just simply paint them white and see what it looks like, and if I simply don't like it, then I'm just gonna get rid of the whole paneling. The other issue with these fluted panels is simply that everyone kind of got them, and people started using like little parts, like let's imagine you simply buy a single panel and you're not doing the entire wall, but you're doing like some kind of like an accent where you put your shoes. I'm sure you have seen those pictures. So I was like, I was kind of disgusted. Like, I've been seeing these panelings everywhere, so it kind of like ruined it for me, you know? It like wasn't special anymore. Not that I thought that it would be special. I'm just fed up with it already. And why would you live with something if you simply don't like it? So yes, it was expensive. I'm sad about it. I can change it, so I just should. Also, another thing are these kind of like fairy lights. This is the twinkly matrix, so I'm saying it before you ask. The lights are beautiful, but the thing is they are on strings, and the strings twist, and the strings aren't going straight down, so it doesn't look too appealing with the lights when you don't have blur behind. So if I'm not using any bokeh, and the thing is with my eyes I can see the strings and I don't like the strings. Let me show you. I think you can see now what it looks like. It's not appealing to the eye because it kind of looks like plastic. So while it is super cool and kind of interesting and kind of special, I probably will simply get rid of the lights just for the sole fact that I'm living in this room. And it's just not like a studio. It's also my place to chill. And I feel like I want something more classy and more timeless this time around. But the main issue with this whole room is that I actually need a key light. It's now turned to the bookcase, but just to show you, the room is really, really dark, okay? Maybe you can't see it on the video. Maybe I should just turn the light off, but anyway, it's just really, really dark, okay? So whenever I'm filming anything here, it just bothers me like crazy. You can see here when I stand like behind the light, I mean, I have a lantern, so it's diffused all over the room, so that is kind of like, well, the point. I wanted to diffuse the light as much as possible so that it basically like reflects from any surface so that the room is brighter when I film. And yeah, I adjust it according to where I am filming, so I turn it towards myself. But the thing is that I just this is just not something I want to deal with, okay? I know that I could have a much clearer content with just less unnatural light, and I just hate unnatural light, if that makes sense. Just to show you how dark this room can get, I have an app here which controls my main light. So let's put it to 100. This is 100. And it's still not that bright. Now the light is actually pointing towards me. And when I turn it to 0, just watch me disappear. Okay, I got a window here. That's why you can see some light on my face. But it is so, so dark. And this is actually in the morning when the sun is actually hitting this room. So it's crazy dark. This might not be a big issue for like any of you. And this might seem like really a small issue. But if you ever struggled with like depression, for example, you would understand. Let me know in the comments if this makes any sense and if you agree with me, because I would really love to have a discussion with you. So basically, I know that I will still need to use a light, but I just want to use more natural light and less artificial light, if that makes any sense. I know it does. It's really important to me to film in natural light. It's what I like the most. I know some people use these blackout curtains and they simply like get rid of all the natural light and they do everything like a studio, which does make a lot of sense, but it is just not for me. I would just lose all the passion from content creation if I had to film in a studio setting all the time, because to me what gives me joy is simply, well, the sun shining through my window, and to me it's just the most appealing in filming. So here we are again. These are the walls which are making the room super, super dark. As you can see, like I have a white color here, so if this wall was white, it would have been much brighter. So I was thinking about simply painting over them and making them white, which is really sad considering this should resemble wood, but it resembles dark wood, and that's not something we want in this room because it's so dark. Plus, you don't have to be sad because it's not wood. Okay, it's just an imitation of wood anyway. That's like a slice of wood which is like glued onto the panel, so just don't worry about it. And another terrible mistake is right here. These Billy bookcases, okay, they might look nice. I got all my Lego inside, so it's all pretty and I don't know, colorful, everything. But it's super dark. Like if you look from the side here, again, there's white paint and then the Billy bookcases. And the issue is, this room isn't really big, so I actually put 3 bookcases here so that I get as much storage as possible, but as you can see, it's simply dark gray. So we have dark gray on this side, we have dark brown on this side, and the worst part of it all, the floors. So why are the floors such a big issue? Simple. I wanted to add pigment to the hard floors here. So when we sanded them down, you can actually look it up. I have a video here which is showing it. So basically I wanted to make the wood a little bit cooler. But what happened was that when the paint or when the wax with the pigment was applied, I wasn't here. I was like 1 minute away, and when I arrived, it was already on the floors, and there was nothing to do about it, actually, like send it down again. So I was just like, okay, let's just keep it. It was a whole thing. You can look it up here on YouTube. But it just didn't turn out great. Like in person, it doesn't look that bad, but on video, it looks like if it was dirty. If you look here, you can see kind of like this gray particles, because as you can see, these floors, they're pretty old, so it was difficult to sand them down entirely, and you can see the paint in the crackles, and it just looks awful. I can't even film it because it just ruins the whole footage. That's why I have kind of like carpets everywhere so that it doesn't look that bad. I'm so sad about it. And yesterday we tried to sand it down with like a hand sander, and since this is wax, it went pretty well, so it shouldn't be hard to do, and you can see how beautiful the wood is underneath. So I would just not put wax on it anymore, since wax had quite a few issues. And one of the issues was that anytime I moved any furniture around, it just scratched the floor. Okay, it literally just scratched the floor. And it wasn't like I didn't wait for it to get hard. No, it was simply because it's wax. And I don't know why you don't find these things online straight away. But when we had another room sanded professionally, the professional actually said that, well, yeah, don't get wax. So I wouldn't recommend you getting wax on your hard floors. First of all, you get scratches from furniture like all the time, no matter how long you wait. And another thing is that they're kind of difficult to clean. Like the first weeks they're like a rubber, so they're a bit more difficult to like hoover and wash and clean in general. So I would just get a lacquer. I'm not a native speaker, sorry. So let's have a final look at the room before everything gets put away and we start sanding the floors, painting the wall, and basically, well, getting new shelves probably. I hope you like this series. There's gonna be about maybe 3 videos from this renovation because I don't want every video to be super long. So enjoy the last look of the room. So here we are. Here I had a bookcase and also a place for my cat to kind of like chill, rest. You can see here he had a little tree he was using. And also here I had various stuff. I already removed some of the items, but basically here was just storage for like files and stuff I was filming with and packages I needed to sort through, etc. Then I had this mirror here, which I put here recently because I was renovating the bedroom and I just didn't have any place to put it anywhere. So it's here, but it's crowded, you know, this room is crowded. It will probably be put somewhere here instead of the last bookcase or so, I don't know. And I'm only gonna get like 2 shelf units, not 3. So just like imagine this being much narrower, it should look better. Okay, when you look from the mirror here, we can see my sitting area. Another thing, like this couch is simply gray and it's mega. It's called the mega sofa, so it's pretty big. You can sleep there and I love it, but it takes a lot of place and it's dark, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But I think I'm just gonna keep it for the sole fact that new couches are super expensive and I haven't really found one I really like. Then here I have my Lego on a shelf. I have a hanging plant. Then here an Everdell lamp from IKEA. And if we move to the side, here is my setup. Yeah, here is my racing simulator setup, but I have to put it away. Here's my chair and here is my computer. Yeah. Also some shelving on top of it to make it look a bit more interesting. Here's a light, a plant, and my walking pad. The shelves you have already seen where I have all my Lego, and also here I have my 3D printer. Here is the stuff for my new computer, which I'm gonna be building. So if you want to see that, definitely subscribe. And here is my 3D printer, which also will probably be moved somewhere else. For the sole fact that I have to store all the filaments somewhere and, well, this is not the right storage. And also, here is a big mirror again. Yeah, just a huge mirror here. And now I turned the light off so you can see the mirror a little bit better. As you can see, it's super, super dark here. And no joke, we have 9 a.m. Okay, so this is the light when it's 9 a.m. Now I am here near my setup where I usually film, and here I'm getting closer and closer and closer and closer to the actual window. So you can see how dark it is there without the light. So imagine like all my videos being like this. So I literally have to use the key light, and I would just really love if I had white walls basically everywhere, because if you can see, it doesn't look that bad behind my computer where the plant is. Here it looks quite appealing, but then here you have the dark wall and here you also have the cabinets, so not nice. And I also need to find a place for all my Lego. It's probably gonna go into a storage or somewhere. It's gonna be difficult to find a place for all the Lego, but I can do it. So this is it. Remember this image because you're never gonna see it again, probably. And I hope you subscribe to my channel because I would love to show you the progress and I hope to discuss some things with you. So I hope to see you in the next one, and we're gonna be moving everything out and starting the renovation. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!